my first YouTube video. My name is Geordie, and I just wanted to create this video just to, I guess, say that I started my first video and reflect back on it in the future when I become such a really cool and successful YouTuber and content creator. I have some goals on, where I want to be, and I guess I wanted to start my journey off with, having a raw, very noob-like video where it all began with an unedited video where it doesn't have a certain way of being framed. It's just completely personable, and I just wanted to get started and put anything up in the hopes of that one day in the future, when I've made my hundreds of videos, that they could come back to this video and see that it all began with the very first one, which is this. And so I wanted to start this video, or my YouTube journey, by just putting something up and really take that first step. It took a lot of courage, I guess, preparation on my part on getting this all sorted. I had to get my camera ready. I've got a bipod, I've got a mic, and I had to look up a few things in order to see what works and what doesn't. However, I didn't do a lot in terms of trying to implement a lot of people's advice in terms of, this is what you need to do, this is where you need to go. I just wanted to keep it authentic to myself. I watched this video before and I was like, oh, this is not for me. That's not the kind of person that I am. And so, I have some questions for myself in the future, so that one day that when you look back on this, you can answer these in a future video and see where you're at now. And so the first question that I have for you is, have you found a niche yet? Now, I am currently trying to lock down on where I want to be. I love music, I love fashion, I also love cars, I also I like getting into the mechanical things of cars, and I just love and appreciate Japanese cars as well, and muscle cars. However, that's something that I do enjoy and I do like. Also, I love technology. I love a lot of things, but there's also one more thing that I wanted to include was I love reacting to world events and seeing other people's opinions and views on how they see certain things, because we all have different backgrounds, and it's interesting to me to see how people react and what are people's views and opinions on certain things. Do you have a good work-life balance? Because currently we are a high school teacher, and we just wanted to make the step in order to get ourselves started. We want to change our route on where we want to go in life. Have you had to compromise or change some values and beliefs to become an effective content creator? Now, why this is important to me is because I see a lot of changes that people make from where they began to where they are now, and that's behavioral traits and how they treat people, and what values do they cherish or hold on to most from now to where they used to be, and some of those are bad and some of those are good, but I've noticed a lot of content creators where they made bad changes, in my personal opinion. Are you happy? Now, this is important to me because this is something that a lot of people ask is, are you happy doing what you're doing? Currently in my position right now, I am happy, but I want to be happier. I've got my career going as a high school teacher. However, I want to be in a creative outlet space where I'm just focused on one thing. Teaching for me currently is something that is a means to an end, where I love educating teenagers and helping them out in their life. However, I want to apply a lot of things and the goals and aspirations that I'm pushing them to myself now. And so I've given a lot of myself in terms of advice. I've given a lot of myself in terms of advice on where I would like to be. And advice that I wish I got as a teenager. However, I want to apply a lot of that advice to myself, and one of those advices was to go chase and do something like your dream. And one of my dreams currently is wanting to be a content creator. Now, what habits did I build that changed everything? So sorry, I don't want to reflect on everything that I've said on the questions. So what habits did I build that changed everything? What did I stop doing that was holding me back? And what does a normal day in my life look like now? And what does financial stress feel like now compared to before? And what kind of content blew up for me? And then I guess the last question that I had that just came off the top of my head was, do people treat you differently now that you're a YouTuber or content creator? And, you know, do they view you differently or treat you differently? Have you noticed that you've got a different circle of friends versus to where you are currently now? And I guess financially, are you doing better than where I'm at right now? So currently, are you still living in Narawahia in our first home, or are you somewhere else? And these are some of those funnier questions of, do you have your dream car yet? Which is, I guess, a JDM car. It's either an RX-7, Supra, or Godzilla, GTR Godzilla. So here goes nothing. Yeah, I have some high expectations and goals. I do know what's involved with creating content. I do know the work that's involved in creating this, but I hope that, you know, you push through and persist through the hard and challenging times, even though it feels like it's near impossible. I understand that, you know, we will come across times where some videos do well, some don't. However, we're doing this out of the pure love and enjoyment of creating content that people can look at and, you know, either consume in terms of, you know, consume and go and think about some of the things that we've presented. Yeah. What kind of person or content creator do I want to be? Like, what type of personality or someone I want to be? Honestly, I want, you know, my opinions and views to have impact on someone where it challenges or enlightens or provides a perspective from, you know, me. And I like to be entertaining as well. I don't want to be the serious guy that deeply reflects on everything, but I also want to be an entertainer as well. I find myself being in a space where I love to be able to just provide entertainment for other people. That's always, I guess, been part of our class trait of being a class clown. But I hope you're doing well. I have the goal, I guess, to wanting to become a successful content creator. And, you know, I would love to be able to be at that point where I've got millions of followers and subscribers. Now, do I believe that can happen? Yes, sincerely I do. Do I understand what kind of work that it's going to take in order to get to that point? No. But I do have some inkling that it's going to take a lot of hard work. And then the other goal is, I just hope and sincerely believe, or I hope that you're happy in life. Yeah. So we've had a challenging past 2 years, and, you know, we just wanted to change things up. We got a bachelor's in information technology. We majored in network engineering. Got our diploma, past grad diploma in teaching. We've worked in IT, worked in teaching, we've worked on content creating. So we've done a lot of things, and, you know, we're actually quite set up compared to where a lot of our circle is at currently. And, you know, we've got the home, we've got all of these things, we've got the cars, the ute that we wanted, but we're just setting new goals now. I really hope that I've written some songs, and, you know, I'm wondering whether that took off or not. But without going too far ahead, I want to keep this under 10 minutes. You know, the main goal is to just be happy and provide a better future for our family. So anyway, I'm going to keep it there. I hope you get a lot out of this, and I'll see you later. Peace.